Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for joining us for Jamaica Magazine. Wondering what to do with the children come Monday when school is out? We suggest a safe environment that offers edutainment. Plus, public-private partnerships within the tourism sector are poised for strengthening as Jamaica hosts a global conference. After this short message, the news, and then we'll delve into those features and others. Stay with us.
Hi, this is Tessan, and I want all you young people to listen to me very carefully. Crime doesn't pay. You can do so much with your life. Don't throw it away in some gang. Stay in school and work hard for what it is you want. It's up to you. Your future will be determined by the decisions you make. Remember, a gang is a dead end.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Good day, I'm Carrie Ann Smith, and this is your GIS News for Friday, July 7. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is calling on CARICOM to move crime and violence further up on its agenda of issues to tackle within the region. The Prime Minister cites a 2013 study by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime as the reason for his call. According to the study, 10 of the most violent countries are in the Caribbean region. Mr. Holness reasoned that murders, guns, and homicides were common challenges facing the region and required a combined force.
I think that if our governments were to pool our collective resources in terms of analyzing the problem, looking at the epidemiology of the problem, that we may be able to put in place synergistic solutions that could attenuate, if not bring a resolution to these problems.
Prime Minister Holness also revealed that he had committed to having a report ready for the next CARICOM intersessional meeting scheduled for Haiti in February 2018. He was speaking with the GIS News following the third and final day of the 38th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM in Grenada. Government's revenues are expected to receive greater protection with the recent signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the Revenue Protection Division and Crime Stop Jamaica. Under the agreement, the entities will collaborate on areas of training and information sharing to minimize corruption and improve revenue collection. The pact will also provide persons with another secure channel to anonymously report allegations of corruption, bribery, fraud, or acts of malfeasance. Citizens are encouraged to help the Revenue Protection Division by calling 1-888-225-5773 or Crime Stop at 311. The Ministry of Education is moving to tackle antisocial behavior among students. An agreement has been signed with the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, for a $3 million grant to support the Safety and Security in Schools project. It will be coordinated by the National Education Trust over the next 2 years.
We look forward through the National Education Trust as you spearhead the management of this project with the partnership with our ministry, that this will be a worthwhile engagement and that we will be able to lessen some of the challenges that we are having in schools.
The project will aid in controlling access to school compounds by installing or repairing perimeter fencing. It will also address the possession of weapons and other contraband in schools through the use of security monitoring equipment and increasing the number of security personnel assigned to institutions. Citizens of the Hagley Park Road area of Southwest St. Andrew and its environs are celebrating the opening of their fully renovated health center. The Type 3 Health Center was officially opened on Tuesday after extensive renovation at a cost of $42 million. It was financed by the National Health Fund. The Hagley Park Road Health Center is the third to be completed over the past 12 months in the Southeast Health region.
It is what we want to do to take primary health care to communities like this one across the country. I want to commend the work that has been done. It's a lovely facility. It has increased your drug serve so you can get medication more promptly, and that's important because waiting time is a challenge in the system, and we're trying to correct that by offering more options.
While calling on persons to protect the facility, the health minister urged them to use the services to improve their general health and well-being. And finally, heads of government industry ministers and small business operators from across the region are to participate in the upcoming inaugural Caribbean MSME Conference. Dubbed Collaboration for Caribbean Sustainability, it will be held at the Hilton Rose Hall Resort and Spa in Montego Bay from July 19 to 21. The conference will present opportunities for small business associations to better serve and support economic growth, while creating a space to address areas critical to the sustainability and the livelihood of MSMEs within the region. President of the Small Business Association of Jamaica, Hugh Johnson, says the three-day event will include meetings, plenary and breakout sessions focusing on MSME financing, policy framework to facilitate growth locally and regionally, and matters related to trade within the region.
And we see this as the way forward in getting to know each other, to interrelate with each other, and also to do a demonstration or expo of our goods and services, that we may be able to patronize each other's services throughout the region. We see this as a workable solution in moving the sector forward.
Mr. Johnson was addressing a JIS think tank this week. The SBAJ, in conjunction with the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, will be hosting the conference. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Carrie Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.
Nominations are now open for the 2017 Prime Minister's Youth Awards for Excellence. Persons 15 to 29 years old may apply and be recognized for their work in 11 exciting categories. There's also a Jamaica 55 commemorative category for youth engaged in community-based volunteerism. Access nomination forms by visiting moey.gov.jm, youthjamaica.com, or any youth information center across the island. Nominations close August 31.
"2017 is the International Year of Sustainable Tourism for Development. To mark the observation, the United Nations World Tourism Organization will be staging a global conference on building partnerships within the industry. Next, the full details of the event.
157 countries will be represented, with scores of overseas participants. Government leaders, planners, policymakers, developers, and investors will converge. Where? On the second city for what is expected to be Jamaica's biggest yet tourism conference. The name of the conference is a mouthful. The UN World Tourism Organization, Government of Jamaica and World Bank Group, Global Conference and Partnerships for Jobs and Inclusive Growth through Sustainable Tourism. But it's important to remember this November 27 to 29 meeting because of what it represents. The conference is being held in commemoration of the UNWTO's International Year of Sustainable Tourism for Development. A historic occasion, as it marks the first time that the UNWTO will stage a global conference on tourism in the Caribbean or the Americas.
The single most important international event that we are ever going to do for tourism. It perhaps could very well be also the single most important event that we have done for Jamaica.
The event is shaping up to go way beyond the limits of a technical conference, but will be transactional and business-oriented. Participants will be engaged in plenary sessions and workshops on a range of subject matters. Some of the themes to be explored include economic development, financial management, job creation, and human capital development. The inclusion of the World Bank as a partner is expected to be a game changer, particularly in terms of how the conference is positioned. The World Bank provides a grand opportunity for international funders of tourism to meet with ministers, as well as private and public sector entities that have development projects and are able to access funding through these entities. So Jamaica will be the destination where several of these major sustainable tourism development transactions will take place. International development firm Chemonics International is also a partner in hosting the conference. With Chemonics on board, participants will have an opportunity to discuss and develop sound environmental solutions for tourism industry operators. Two of the expected deliverables from this conference will be an outcome declaration and the publication of the second UNWTO Affiliate Members Global Report on Public-Private Partnerships. Coming out of the conference, the UNWTO will also present a report to the UN General Assembly in 2018 with regards to the activities of the International Year of Sustainable Tourism for Development, of which the conference will play a major role. At the UNWTO, there have been much talk on the need for public-private partnerships. Still, there has been a failure to translate that on the ground in any effective manner. The conference will kickstart discussions for the creation of on-the-ground activities to develop tourism across the globe through partnerships. This is of significant importance to developing states such as Jamaica, who rely heavily on the economic power of tourism. Of deeper significance for Jamaica, especially the people of the West, is the creation of a Montego Bay Declaration. The declaration will be used as a roadmap to strengthen public-private partnerships and enhance donor funding and investor engagement. This will create the framework for more responsible, sustainable, and universally accessible tourism in the second city. The declaration will also address tourism leakages that are crippling the industry. So the established Tourism Linkages Network is expected to play a greater role to combat the issue and allow the Jamaican people to benefit more from the sector. The conference is attracting many leaders from government, multilateral organizations, international financial agencies, non-governmental organizations, cruise lines, other tourism entities, and of course, Jamaican businesses such as small and medium tourism enterprises. Since the agreement was brokered in January for Jamaica to host the event, Minister Bartlett has been on a whirlwind promotional tour to garner support and attendance at the conference. In Africa, he was able to secure Ethiopian Airlines as the official carrier to take the continent's dignitaries to the conference. The industry's largest intelligence portal, which provides media, insights, and marketing data to thousands of tourism players, Skift.com, is also expected to be reporting from the conference, as Mr. Bartlett met with the agency's president, Caroline Kremins. He has also gone to Germany, Thailand, Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, and the United States of America. Jamaica stands ready to benefit from billions of dollars worth of free advertising by hosting this conference. The Multi-Sectoral Planning Committee is fired up to put on a wonderful conference to show the world why the land of wood and water is the cultural superstate.
It's also a first in the world for the United Nations World Tourism Organization, because it is the first time in any location that all the elements of tourism are going to converge to discuss sustainability issues, to discuss its future, and to celebrate on matters that will inure to the future development of world tourism.
Play is very important to the development of children. It allows them to use their creativity and develop their imagination. Through play, children interact with the world around them. They learn how to work in groups, share, and resolve conflicts.
They learn rules and they learn about respecting others and waiting turns and setting their own rules and guidelines for their games.
Set limits, but allow your children to play. It will help them develop the confidence and resilience needed to conquer future challenges.
Technological advancements seem to have placed libraries on the back burner, but they're still places of fun and learning. This summer, each parish library is offering a full slate of activities for the children. Just contact the one that's nearest you. Here's an idea of what happens at the library during the summer. They came to sing, dance and discover the artistic creativity within. This was an unforgettable experience for children ages 6 to 14 at the summer program held at the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Library, 2 Tom Redcombe Drive.
We put on this program because we aim to develop the creativity, social and academic skills of the student. This summer program is offered annually at all public libraries throughout the island, normally during the month of July.
This program has been enhancing the summer experience for children through the various activities being offered.
We offer computer classes, we offer sign language, performing arts. It is when they come to the summer program that they actually get to discover who they really are.
It's fun to be here and you can get a lot of friends and you learn new things.
I like my friends, the people.
Students can access these programs at any of the public libraries within the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Library Network.
The Kingston and St. Andrews Parish Library Network has 9 branch libraries. There are the Brandon Hill Branch Library, which is located beyond the Stony Hill. And then we have Stony Hill in the community of Stony Hill. We have Parks Road Branch Library beyond the Park and Stony Hill Branch Library. Then we also have Shortle Branch Library, High Auburn Branch Library, Majestic Garden Branch Library. We have Portroya Branch Library, Harborview Branch Library, and Stony and Tivoli Gardens Branch Library.
Through the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Library Network, outreach services are also provided to some 127 government schools.
Sometimes some schools don't have existing library. We work with them, guide them until the library is in existence. In that case, we have to go and re-establish the library.
The students have been able to have a more engaging experience in the summer program as a result of additional ICT resources provided at the various libraries.
Because our theme is Stay Connected this summer at your library, we have part of the activity involves Coder online gaming, where we utilize some of the computers that we received under the Global Libraries project.
The students have been very keen to explore this cyber universe as game masters.
Well, I like the Kodu game training. Like, it teaches you how to build your own games, so that's really fun for me because I enjoy technology.
Through the Global Libraries ICT project, a partnership was developed with EBSCO, which facilitated access to the Patient Education Reference Center database.
That means that if you're doing research, you can access online content that's not typically freely available on the web through the Jamaica Library Service that's made available by EBSCO.
The National Advocacy Committee of the Jamaica Library Service is aiming to promote the relevance of public libraries in Jamaica.
I am a Jamaican author, and my specific audience is young adults, which is teenagers for the most part. So the fact that the Global Libraries project is putting more state-of-the-art computers all across Jamaica is an opportunity for us to have our work be exposed.
The Jamaica Library Service is also investing in their human capital and their physical environment.
The Heart Trust NTA has partnered with the Jamaica Library Service through its Business Development and Workforce Solutions Department to offer customer service training for approximately over 250 Jamaica Library Services staff members. The training will help to enhance their skills and competencies to deliver a higher level of customer experience for both their internal and external customers.
The Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Library is inviting all Jamaicans to come and experience the exciting programs it has to offer that will transform your life. Join us next week when we journey to the lush green parish of Portland to share in their summer program activities.
Business owners during the hurricane, move files, equipment and furniture away from unshuttered windows. Wrap office equipment in plastic to protect against water damage. Turn off all air conditioners, disconnect electrical equipment, and turn off the lights. Be ready to reduce the chaos.
Cancer, stress, high blood pressure. Guard yourself against these potentially deadly conditions by eating healthy. Give your body long life with foods such as low-fat milk, dried and fresh peas and beans, unsalted nuts and seeds, fresh vegetables, fruits and coconut water, and eliminate processed seasonings such as seasoning salt, soy sauces and ketchup. When it comes to meats, remember to remove the skin to reduce the intake of fats and oils. Meats should also be baked, steamed, grilled or roasted. Fish is also a preferred protein option. To eat healthy, fill your body with a variety of foods from all the food groups. And remember, eat at a slow pace and in small bites to help aid digestion. This helps to maintain a healthy, balanced and nutritious diet, strengthening your body to ward off illness and prolong life.
You see, when you go to market tomorrow, or the next time you decide say you are going to go to market, ensure you grab a couple pounds of ginger or turmeric. The same thing what they call turmeric. Coming up, we reveal the potency of these spices.
Daylight come and me want go home. Work all night.
From jerk to curry recipes, Jamaican cooking is all about the spices sourced right on the island. With the support of the state entity responsible for managing all things agricultural, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Jamaica's spice producers are on the verge of stamping a bolder mark on the competitive international industry, with many programs unfurling to increase the production of traditional spices like ginger, turmeric, nutmeg and pimento, and non-traditional spices such as hot peppers and onion. And the possibilities are bountiful. Take ginger and turmeric, for example. Both grow with relative ease almost anywhere on the island. In fact, travel to some places in Jamaica and you can find turmeric growing wild, unfettered by any environmental condition that could stunt its growth. Whether for use as a condiment, for its healing properties, or simply for coloring, consumers worldwide can't seem to get enough turmeric. Global trade in turmeric has been trending up, and so have prices. As for Jamaican ginger, it has long been considered among, if not the best in the world. Current global demand for Jamaican ginger is estimated at 21,000 metric tons in its fresh form and 4,200 tons dried, and there's room for growth.
Daylight come and me want go home.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica. Original.
National Housing Trust loan applicants can now access some new benefits, which are open to young persons. Within these improvements are special benefits for persons with disabilities. These include reduced interest rates and a special grant to assist with retrofitting their houses. NHT contributors with disability who are certified by the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities repay their loans at a rate of interest 2 percentage points below that of the income group in which they fall. As of July 1, individuals earning up to $30,000 weekly will borrow at a rate of 0%. Meanwhile, NHT's lowest earning contributors, which includes the young, can now access increased funding following improvements made to the Home Grant program. Contributors earning below $12,000 weekly and who have been contributing for over 7 years will be able to access up to $2.5 million for an NHT home grant. By combining their mortgage loan and the home grant amount, these contributors should be able to purchase a unit equivalent in value to an NHT studio. These new improvements provide hope for the country's youth.
Children, a brighter tomorrow. Let's renew our pledge to God as we work to heal our land and fellow man. Let's join hands across Jamaica for righteousness. Let's join hands across Jamaica for righteousness.
This is where the magazine closes for today, but there's lots more to see on our webpage, jis.gov.jn. There you may find relevant information on government projects and policies. For more television features, visit our YouTube channel. We're also on other social media sites, or you may download our app from the Google Play Store to stay informed while you're on the go. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.